Justified Season 6, Episode 4, The Trash and the Snake. I am loving the bad guy for this season. Something about his character, him being this guy who's like, he's a serious businessman. Like, his options go from good to bad, after about 2 or 3 tries. But his initial process is like, hey, I want to talk to you. He sends his people out. He might send, Calhoun out himself, who's just the normal real estate guy. Then he sends his own guy out. And when he knows that even that doesn't work, in some cases, I think it was, in this case, it was fairly special that he went to the house himself. But when we see him go to the house, it's a big deal. Like, he's, just the demeanor, he's very calm. And this actor, I know him from a couple of other things. And it's really funny seeing him as a bad guy because I think a lot of people might recognize him from not only The Big Lebowski, where he was like the cowboy narrator guy, but he was also in the show Community, and he was like just the free spirit weed smoking guy, and I guess he still kind of is, but he's sort of the evil version of the character from Community, and it's kind of funny seeing him. But I don't see any of that stuff when I actually, while I'm in the moment in the episodes, and that's really great. Like, he's a villainous character who knows his limits. He knows, kind of when he's caught and, when certain things aren't really going to go his way. And he's done his research, even though, he might say he hasn't. But it was really cool seeing him have this confrontation with Raylan in this episode. Like, we got to see him do it with Boyd in the last one, but he has it with Raylan in this one. And it's like, we got to see Loretta in this episode, which I thought was pretty cool. And they had like the apple pie thing, and I could have sworn that that's what Loretta was doing. Like, she could tell that, things weren't going to go well if she turned this guy down. And I assumed she was going to poison him, because it was like as soon as she said, it's apple pie, I was like, this guy's about to get killed off, or she's going to at least try to. So, I kind of love the callback they did to only the second season, which was a really great season. And it was just kind of funny. It's like, why don't you just go ahead and dip your finger in there and give it a taste. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like, he knew certain things. We got to see a couple characters. Aside from Loretta, we got to see the Bennett, the final Bennett that is left alive. He's still in prison and stuff. And he was really mad he sold to Loretta, which I thought was funny. But I always love seeing him because he's always trying to be really sarcastic and kind of talk down to Raylan, even though sometimes, he can't. And it was kind of funny, like, Raylan's saying, like, I'll get you this and that with commissary, and he's like, I got diabetes, and, that crap doesn't help me. So it was kind of funny, but at the same time, for his character, obviously, that really sucks. But it was funny, seeing him, like, kind of try to talk down to Raylan and stuff, and not give a crap, and then he finds out the stuff with Loretta. And it was just really funny. Like, I enjoyed that. I always enjoy Raylan kind of getting one up on him, because he was one of the bad guys, so that's just how it is. Like, he's in a really crappy spot right now. He's in prison in a wheelchair, but he did some really crappy stuff when he was up and walking around in the show when he was really introduced. So I don't feel too bad for him, to be completely honest. And then the stuff with Boyd and Wynn, that was like the last thing I would have expected. They're going to get this guy for a safecracker, and he blows himself up. I just had no idea what to think about that. I was kind of there. I was just like, just stunned, like they were. Like, they have blood splattered all over them, because this idiot who's like, I'm the Wiz, I can take care of this and this and that, and he's like, give me your cell phones, and he leaves his cell phone on him, and I'm guessing it's something to do with the signal, not being like completely finished and all that, so that's why when the call came in, that's what blew him up. But he blew himself up. Like, he blows up. That was kind of their plan, was like, alright, let's see what we can and cannot use against this giant freaking tank of a safe. And the one guy who actually has the info and the skills to do it, and even the materials to do it, he blows himself up. He's dead now, and they were covered in his blood. And so now they're going to have to kind of find some new means to deal with this safe. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But it should be pretty entertaining with them trying to just figure out exactly how to deal with it. Because they probably don't have anyone else to go to. Otherwise they would have gone to them instead of the Wiz. But there could be a second guy who's good at safe cracking. So I'll just have to wait and see for that one. But that was the craziest moment, and it was just like, I cannot believe that just happened. He blew himself up, and they just gotta go. They gotta do something else. But that was kind of like just one half of that, and then we got the stuff with Ava and the woman in charge. And I wish I could think of her name, but that was a pretty interesting storyline as well in this episode. And it started off um, pretty bad. Like at first, it was like Ava coming in and she's told the lie. Like I always feel like characters should just say I was like out for a walk, because you could easily say that and you can't forget anything. You were out and you came back in. And of course, she told the cigarette thing, and I don't know if that's what made the woman kind of look into things. And I'm sure she already looked into it. It's like she's working with Boyd. Who does he know? Who is he involved with? And they're of course engaged. I'm sure it's not anywhere on a legal document or anything, but I'm sure word got around about that. So she knows her information, and it was pretty cool to see them kind of bond, seemingly at least, in the middle of the episode. And they go to the jewelry store and she like steals the stuff and swaps it out. I enjoyed that. It was like, it's cool that she's not just checking in on Ava, like giving her like a hard press, like who are you, what are you doing, what are you trying to do to screw up my business with Boyd and all this stuff. She seemed like she was actually bonding with her. And then it gets to the end and it's like, oh, that's my massage, I guess you better go. And it's like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'm out of here. And then of course she freaked Ava out, just randomly bringing up that cop. And I didn't think too much of it when she brought it up. I thought it was really weird that she brought it up. I didn't think it was because she knew that she was possibly working with Raylan and the police. I figured it was because she was the one who kind of told the woman to beat the guy up. Like she knew, beforehand, like Boyd is going to be the guy that I want to work with, because she knew him in the last season. And it could just be like, okay, this is the guy I want to work with. I'm going to do something to kind of make things easier for him so he doesn't have so much to worry about. Because especially in the last season where she was like being attacked and stuff and being beat up and things like that. So, I figured that's why she was saying it at first. And she's like, if you want to do this and do that. And that could be what it is. She just said it in an excessively cryptic way. But at the same time, it could be reason for Ava to freak out. I mean, who knows? I mean, why would you bring that stuff up? And it was like, a complete 180, especially with the way she ended things. It wasn't like they were in the middle of being friendly and then she brought it up. It was like, all right, leave. And then she brought it up as she was walking away, like, hey, that, cop that said you stabbed him and stuff, and then, flipped it around. It was completely random when she was the one who just ended everything that happened, like, the whole day. Like, all right, get out and, go back to your room. And then she brings up that, like, little, kind of like a little epilogue to their entire day. And it freaks Ava out. So I don't know if it really means that she knows something, or if it was just the fact that she is the reason that cop, she's the reason the female cop beat up the male cop and kind of convinced him, tell the truth so that this woman can get out of here. But, whatever it was pretty bad. Like, it was an odd way to end things. Like I said, it seemed like they were bonding, and then, boom, it just seemed to flip at the last minute. So I don't really know what to expect from it, but they're obviously going to be in close proximity, especially the stuff happening with Boyd right now, and them having to find someone else to help them get through the safe. So they're really going to be in close proximity a lot more until everything's done. But I'm incredibly excited for it. I can't wait to see how they, kind of pull off them being together, and Ava trying to calm down even more, because obviously she was already freaked out with Boyd possibly finding out, and now she believes this woman, full on knows. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm definitely curious what's going to happen with them finding a new safecracker who isn't going to blow themselves up. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, getting to see like the head guy come in and talk with Raylan was definitely pretty cool. We got the, kind of the two sides of the coins, where he talked to Boyd in the last episode and then he talked to Raylan in this one. So it was nice to see how those conversations went, and they're pretty much the same. Obviously, they always end up going towards the same goal at the end: stop this person, and then Boyd's always there to pick up the pieces as the next, the final bad guy. And it should be interesting. This is probably my favorite episode so far, because just a lot of cool little things happen. But I want to know what you guys thought about this one, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what do you guys think is going to happen now that Boyd has decided he's going to stay in Kentucky. Like, he wants to stay, and he wants to decide to grow pot because he found out what Avery Markham's plan was, and it's of course to buy pot legally, and have all these fields grow once weed becomes legal. So that's his plan now, and it's totally switched. But he still wants to take Markham down. That's still his idea. But how do you guys think things are gonna go for him now that he's decided to kind of switch it up? Because even though he still wants to take on Markham, it might be a different process now. He might not be so gung ho about it, where it's like, I'm gonna get all this money, and then me and Ava are just gonna take off. He wants to stay, right where he is, and grow weed, because that's the new thing. He believes that Avery knows something's coming down the pipeline with his resources and his reputation. He must know someone or something is gonna happen for sure. And if that's how it plays out, then good for him. Although I doubt they won't be that big of a span in this season anyway. So, even if that does end up happening, it probably won't happen in this season. But what do you guys think is going to come out of that? Because I know for sure, like, the only thing I know is that it's going to be insanity. That's pretty much it. It's justified. Things are going to be good for one character. They have a great idea, and then it's either going to get shut down or it's going to wrap up and just be a crazy old style shootout, because that's just how the show goes. But I want to know what you guys think, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.